All right. I need you guys to come back over. I am so sorry. We just going through issues today. Today has been crazy. My computer is not is just I guess it needs to I got to take it in. I don't know what's going on with my computer, but I'm going to grab Mo. I'm going to get Mo back in here in just a second. Give me 1 minute to get him the new link. Um and I'll get him right back in here. I appreciate you guys. Patience. We don't ever have these issues, and we're having them tonight. And of course, tonight is a great show. So, of course, that's why the enemy is trying to get us out. It is trying to get us out because we got a lot to talk about. And I was able to finally get that clip, but hey. So hold on. Let me get Mo back in the building. Give me 2 seconds to get him back up. But yeah, it is it's always the computer always has issues when there's something really good, and you got a lot to talk about. So I'm gonna wait till we get him back in. Hopefully we can get half the people, at least half the people that were in the room. We had over 100, had over 300 people in the room. So hopefully we'll give you guys a chance to come on back in. I know Miss 86 Hazel Eyes, my computer just cut the live off. It just ended the live because of the I guess it stalled and it just ended the live. So I apologize. Yeah, y'all hit the like. So we got good energy. We got good energy. Darika, our apologies. We got to get you guys back in here. I got to get Scorpio Mo back. He should be joining in just a second. I told him I was going to have to send him another link so he could join. So we back. But we're still talking about Vernisha and still talking about Vernisha. I was talking about the fact that she referenced and she talked about the fact that she gets a lot of negative flack about how she dresses. But she dresses like that because that's how she wants to dress. So, hey, Mo is on his way back in, y'all. Mo is on his way back in. I'm gonna have to let Mo host the damn thing because my computer went out. But yes, I feel like I was telling Mo, and I'll reiterate this when he comes back. A lot of times a man will get with the woman. Here we go. We back.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So a lot of times a man will get with a woman and he will that dresses very provocatively, right? And then once they become an item, then he will decide he doesn't want her dressing like that, and he wants to change her. So I think
Can
that
I,
if you do get with a man like if you do with a woman like Renisha, you have to be comfortable with her dressing like that forever. And
can,
the word started to be forever.
can I tell you why that happens sometimes?
Yes.
Okay. You get with a woman, you see it, you're not taking her serious. You might just want to sleep with her, right? And,
Okay.
and what happens is you wind up liking her. Just like you could wind up liking her and find out about her and be like, not for me. You can
Yeah.
wind up really caring and then find out, oh, this is for me. Getting to know her, and then you see that you be like, everything but this. And it's not wearing it because I don't think you look good in or whatever, because wearing that can put us in danger. And you don't realize that. A lot of women don't realize that. Like those times that you're wearing that, if I'm with you and these group of guys are saying something and you put me in an awkward position. Now, I might not have cared about that position because we're all trying to get with you. I might not even be taking you serious. But then we
Mhm.
get outside of this and we're dating and we're not going out, but we're doing things that, and a lot of times, I'm not saying this happens all the time, but this
Yeah.
sometimes.
I have seen that. I have a girlfriend that was very attractive, and her guy would tell her, and I think you know who I'm talking about. Her guy would tell her, if you're gonna dress like that, I'm not gonna go with you because I don't want to end up when somebody says something, I don't want to get into it. So but he didn't have a problem with her wearing the clothes. He just didn't want to be with her because he knew it was going to attract a lot of attention, and that was going to put him in a bad position. He didn't want to get into it. So I think it just kind of depends on the man and what he likes. But what I can say is none of us should be getting with people trying to change them.
Good point.
So if, you know, If that's how it is, then that's how it is. First of all, I want to welcome everybody back. Hopefully we had almost 300 people and the computer went out. I'm so sorry. I'm trying to hope that we get those people back.
We need to get it back up to the sounds.
We gonna start having more play strip poker to get the people back in, But if you're watching this is the second part of our recap on the final, the finale / reunion, which was done all in one show, which was super weird, super weird. So I just, moving on from that part about the Venetia's rant, I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna play the video of Vernisha talking that caused us to go out last time. But I'm gonna play this video and then we'll talk about if people agree or disagree with what she has to say.
Very well. I'm good with my words. And I have a pure heart. And I'm genuine. But I don't play internet games. Leave me alone. Pay attention. Think before you type. Get yourself together. Make a dentist appointment or even a gynecologist appointment. Or get a maid service to clean them nasty ass houses. Do something with your time besides sitting on this internet and going back and forth about something you was not there. And if you're paying attention, the editing, they do all the editing in the world, but the proof is in the pudding. I ain't said this 3-4 times about the non-communication because it was happening. Think. Use your brains. Y'all don't always have to side with the men just because they're the type of man that you would want. They probably don't want you. Hell, all of them don't want me. And if you do, act like you do. Because the first sign that I get that you ain't that interested, hey, baby, I'm gone. I'm good. Yeah. Because I am a woman that's wanted. Believe it or not. Yeah, I have a lot of options. Anything else? Because y'all done got on my damn nerves today, and I don't hardly go back.
Y'all done pissed Vernisha off. Well, not our chat. Our chat is not the trollers, but the trollers have pissed Vernisha off.
Well, cool. She shouldn't have did that.
Yeah, I think she let it get to her, but you got to know you're on a reality show. But obviously, we all have moments of weakness, and one of the things I like about Vernisha is that she does treat everybody with respect. What did you think about the fact that Tabari was upset and did not want to leave? She said in that live that he sat there for almost 10 minutes.
I think he did that shit for the camera.
You think he did it for the camera? Okay.
Any dude that's not communicating with her off the show, then I think he did that for camera time. Me personally, it was
so too. So you think he did? Do you think he did? I feel like kind of hearing this, I feel like he did the whole thing for camera time.
Yeah, you saw he was like,
yeah. And she said that she was surprised that he was surprised because she was like, I kept telling him the same thing over and over again, and the behavior didn't change. And so why would he be surprised?
He won. He got to stay on the show the whole time. So he won.
I feel like the same is true for Donald. You know what I mean? Like, I really feel like, now, this is the thing. Vernisha actually vouched for Tabari having being well off and all that kind of stuff. But so really it shouldn't matter that the show is paying you because they're not paying him that much. Trust and believe, they're not paying him that much.
If that was, Cam wouldn't have a problem saying what he's feeling the way he felt then.
What do you mean?
He was taken away from his work.
Yeah, they're not. Yeah, they definitely not paying him that much. It's not much. It's not much. Now for who lazy?
Leave my man alone. Leave my homeboy alone.
I'm just saying, if you're driving Uber, then the payment may be, worth it. But if you're not driving Uber and you got a real job, then Trust me, what they're paying them on that show is not enough. It's not. Now, so I don't. That's hard to understand, but I feel Vernisha on that. Um,
She's
I
right.
just
You know,
I
told
just wish that she didn't. I guess they felt like, and then too, we don't know. We don't know if they told them that they needed to have somebody to go to the end with. But in my opinion, I would just rather she had just kept Jabari around, because at least she knew he really was into her, and he was genuine. And she said that she's a genuine person. I mean, keep the genuine person around, because I feel like at the end of it, them having a great personality and great chemistry, and him actually being into her, them deciding at the very end that their lifestyles didn't mesh, that would have been a good reason to.
how many times have you seen that in real life? Come on. This is
Yeah.
real life, y'all. That's a
Yeah.
real thing that happens.
Yeah. I don't know what people are saying to Vernisha that got her talking about their teeth and them needing to go to the OBGYN and to get her made. And I don't know what's happening, but
Homeboy,
'cause I know none of the people in our chat, none of the XOers are saying anything like that. So I don't know where that's coming from, but
and they believed it.
but okay, so Monica made a good point. She said Jabari did not want to stay to the end. He genuinely liked her. I can feel that. I feel that.
But how many times have your successful friends didn't want to get? This is a real thing, man. This is a real thing. Crystal?
What about it? How? Ask me the question. I don't know what the full question is.
Times of your successful friends have been in that scenario and chose the other guy based on his situation, what looked right on paper. This is what happened.
I'll be honest. It happens a lot.
Yeah, that's all.
I'll be honest.
Yeah, that's all.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to to Zadia and Cam.
Oh Lord.
Now, I want to say that I had one of our listeners sent me some information, some covert information that could have explained why Zadia had such a problem letting letting Cam go. Thank you so much for sending. You guys send me a lot of stuff, and I appreciate it. But getting the there's a picture of Cam, and it suggests. I hope it's not Photoshopped. It could be Photoshopped. But the picture suggests that he may be very well endowed. I'm not going to post that picture because I'm not. But it's on the internet. It's on Beyonce's internet. But it definitely is an impressive angle. And y'all try to make me be trifling higher perspective. She said, "My post it." No, but seriously, this explained to me that maybe this is why. Let's be honest. Now, Mo, you have been very honest about how you take the big deep breath in. You have been honest about how some things that some women have done during your intimate times have made you give them second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth chances. So don't act like you're holier than thou when our good sis Zadia, may have given this man second, third, and fourth chances because of what we saw in this picture.
She gave him or he gave her? I'm confused. Hold on.
I'm saying because a lot of people are like, why didn't she let him go?
Oh, okay. I mean,
right?
Yeah,
so maybe it's a good chance.
Okay, okay.
That maybe y'all. I cannot post the picture, but it's not. He's dressed, but it just shows. It shows the equipment that could be.
Okay.
He could have the issues that Bernie Mac talked about in his stand-up years ago. Blessed, highly favored, smiled upon by God. Not I'm a visual learner, ma'am. So in any case, the equipment looked like it was an XL. And I'm assuming that I mean, that could be a reason. I mean, just women and men, we all have
It,
reasons.
it very well possibly can be.
Now, another XOer, shared with me, which I hate that you and I did not pick up on this. She said, do you notice that Sharice and Zadia didn't really have an issue with each other, and because Cam went out with Sharice as well, but he was really into Zadia.
That was missed a bit early on.
It was early, but I'm just saying, like, maybe she was like, maybe Sharice was jealous of Zadia because she might have been interested in Cam. You remember that scene where Sharice was talking to Cam?
You know what? But it wasn't going to work anyway.
He wasn't into Sharice. He definitely would not have been into Sharice.
Nah.
But I'm just saying, do you think that could have had it could have lent contribution to why Sharice did not like Zadia so much?
Possibly, but it was so early on. I don't think nobody would have had, if that's the case, she should have had that kind of energy towards Vernisha with homeboys. So
that's true. Yeah, but so Zadia decided she was going to keep Cam around. Did anybody else feel like Cam was not happy with that? Like, he was like, oh, I feel like he was waiting. He has been waiting every single time for her to let him go. And every single time she decides to keep, so I decided I'm going to keep you around. And he just be like,
I caught that. Yes. Yes.
I was like, this man wants to be freed from the show.
He does.
He wants to be freed.
Because he's messing up his other stuff.
I agree. People said Cam wants to be able, you said Cam wants to be able to go back to dating women, and he was on the dating site. Like, he's not, when a man is focused on his business, he's not into trying to be tied down, especially not if the woman doesn't feel like the right one.
Yes. See, what? I don't know how many miles away, but come on, man.
Yeah, that was a lot. But all right, let's get into this reunion. Again, I just want to go on the record and say, Ready to Love producers, that was lame. Like, y'all, what y'all not gonna keep doing to us is merging shows together. Like, it didn't even flow. It was just it was whack. It was super whack. It did not flow at all. So I think I really wish they would not have done that. I think that cheapened the reunion, and it made it to where we didn't really, like, people like, we were waiting for this to have this conversation, right? But now we had to split it between both. So it would have been better just to have one reunion or have a 2-part, but start it off like that. This little 15 minutes could have been added to last week's show.
Build up the 2 reunions. Just start off small, man. Don't try to do too much.
Not the Haitian Empress said this was as whack as Moe's toothpick. Hey, where is your toothpick today?
I'm gonna keep doing it just because I know it annoys some people. I'm like that, just so you know. I'm petty.
We know you're petty. All right, let's get into this reunion. Can we talk about the fashions? First of all, I want to talk about the fashions from that last. Is there anybody whose fashion stood out to you?
No, I didn't pay attention to anything but somebody's gloves every time.
Nah, man, I didn't like what Ashley had on. It was orange.
To be honest with you,
it was orange. It had sequins and ruffles.
They don't go together. I don't know women's fashion that deep.
No, they do not.
Okay, I'll keep that.
It looked like a ghetto ice skating uniform. Like, you know how the girls wear the ice skating.
Ghetto ice cream.
I did not like it. I did not like it. I was very unhappy with that. That was the worst part. Like I just, it had ruffles. It was mesh, sequins, and a slit.
So too many they don't like that?
No.
Okay.
No. Everybody said, well, people are saying Zadia looked good. Who did you like the best? Whose outfit did you like the best at the reunion?
I didn't even get that far, to be honest with you. The gloves, I just paid attention. I want to know why we keep doing the gloves. Am I missing something?
You know what? I am going to show you guys. So I went to see T.I.'s symphony, and I did have on gloves.
That's why you ain't saying nothing.
I'm going to show you guys. I'm not going to try to upload it because I don't want to go off again.
That's why you ain't saying nothing.
No, this is us. See? I have on a glove. Yep, that's me and my girlfriends. So I think a glove is good for the reunion. I don't think a glove is good for just a regular day. Like a glove is very, I mean, we were at the symphony, so we had on gloves at the symphony.
Music 20th anniversary symphony.
It was, but it was at the Atlanta Symphony Hall. Yeah. And you know me, I like to get dressed. I like a good opportunity to get dressed up. I will admit, it was not my finest fashion. Okay. It was not my finest. And it was a good idea. It didn't really land. So I'm saying that I didn't like Ashley's, but mine didn't land either. So, it's okay.
So
The
cutaway. With the cutaway things, when she had the outfit that looked like the fruitcake, when they would cut to that. Do you like that with the whole thing? It's a bit much for me. I was confused.
I don't like it. Okay. I don't like it.
Okay.
I do not like it. I don't. I think that sometimes less is more. Less is more. And I will say that Sharice doesn't really wow you, but she's consistently classy and clean. And I'm okay with that.
She keeps it simple, correct?
Keeps it simple. It's not going to be like, girl, did you see what she had on? She looks great. It's simple and classy, but I also think it's her style. And I will say that. Now, that's the only good thing I'm going to say about Sharice, because at the reunion, she showed her whole entire behind.
That's a fact.
Like, I'm over it. Like, you wouldn't even, it just was like, oh, I do have one more thing about the fashions. Ashley is I think that Ashley is a beautiful girl. And I really hope that if she comes back on another season, I know congratulations to her because she's doing a play.
Okay.
I hope that she gets some help with her fashions. I just want to pull this picture up for.
Oh, Lord.
No, because okay. Like, there are certain things that we just are not going to do unless we are, unless you're able to do it. Not everything is not for everybody, right? Everything is not for everybody. So I'm trying to get a picture of this because I was just very unhappy with it. I can't find a picture, but Ashley had on what they call my girlfriend called a hair ornament.
At the reunion?
You didn't see that?
Man, I got into I saw something, but go ahead.
And it was reminiscent of Whitney. I believe Whitney Houston did something like this years ago. No, bruh. You don't just do what Whitney Houston did. You don't just do it. Whitney do it.
Themselves?
What?
They dressed themselves for the reunion? I don't know. I'm just asking.
Oh, I think so. I think they dressed themselves. And again, I am not hating because my fashion did not did not go the way I wanted. And there were 2 other girls at the trap music in my dress. So obviously I have got to do better. Okay. I was purely irritated with the fact that 2 other girls were in my dress. My girlfriends assured me that they were not. It was just the 2 other young ladies, right? So I'm not saying that that all of us are not above reproach when it comes to the fashions, but I did not like the hair ornament. It was totally unnecessary. It just didn't match. Like if you're going to do something like that, you have to have something that's very couture. Like you need something that is really like on the cutting edge of fashion. And that's not where we've resided.
I don't know women
not resided there this entire time.
I don't know women's fashion that well. I just know if something look crazy. But if after
I think this hair piece looked crazy.
Okay, I gotta go back. But
no, I'm gonna pull up a clip.
And y'all backstage, do you tell her before y'all go on camera? And that's
These girls, I ain't telling nobody nothing because everybody's grown. They feel like they know what they're doing, so I ain't telling nobody nothing.
Okay.
I wouldn't now if it's a good friend of mine and she asked me. You know, I mean, maybe somebody should have told me. I don't know. I'm just saying we're all, you know, and then too, you got to know, like, there are people that are, you know, not everybody is going to look great all the time. Just not. So, okay, let me see. I think we got a clip here. Let me see if I can get it. Here it is. Here it is. Now I'm going to just put it up to the camera. Y'all going to have to come in close, okay? I'm going to run it a couple of times. Y'all going to have to come in close. Uh-oh. See now.
I got you. Now I know.
Did you not see it?
Now I know what you mean by Whitney. Okay, I got you.
Whitney Houston wore that when she wore a piece like that when she got married.
Popular in the 70s, 80s. Like seriously,
Whitney wore it when she got married.
Yeah.
And still she could only, I mean, it still worked really well because it was Whitney Houston. And it was over the top. It is, and you're right. Hey, you 703. She was leaning into the 1920s flappers with the headpiece, but you gotta go with the whole theme. You gotta, you can't just do the headpiece if you don't have the rest of it. Like you gotta go the whole. You gotta commit.
That's the lady's name, Josephine Baker.
Josephine Baker, yes, but you gotta commit.
Okay.
You gotta commit. It was Harlem Renaissance-ish. You gotta commit. There are people that like the headpiece. Okay, it could be. Hey, I just did not. I thought it was ill. It was just not it was just unnecessary for this reunion. But I think that, you know, she's a beautiful girl. I just would have liked it to be a whole look. You know, that's all. We can move on to Sharice being an idiot at the reunion. Yeah, the dress, but the dress don't match that headpiece. No. Not Harlem Nights, because Harlem Nights, everybody in that film was impeccably dressed.
Funny, Harlem Nights. I know exactly the what's the name character?
Oh man, she was flawless. Ray's girl, Sugar Ray's girl.
Yeah, she used to play what's the name on the Jeffersons.
She was flawless. I watched Harlem Nights this weekend.
Jeffersons, yeah.
Yeah, she was gorgeous. Like just everything in that movie was, the men and the women looked amazing. But okay, let's talk about Sharice not even allowing Tanika Ray to speak, and then just kept talking. Like, why would she not shut up?
She wouldn't, and I seen how she flipped on Ashley. But she did have a slight point on something.
Oh, what? You be having Ashley's back. What did she have a point on?
No, not Ashley. No. I'm saying Sharice had a slight point on something.
Oh, okay. I'm surprised.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I'm on the side of what I feel is right. I ain't got no side. But I will say this. When they said we talked to what's the name too, but you ain't they said they talked to Zadia too, of what she did wrong. But you ain't do it on camera like you doing it to her. That's the difference.
Yeah.
So like we talked to her too, Well, you ain't talked to her on, like, you see what I'm saying?
Well, and to their defense, they might have talked to her on camera. They just might have edited it out.
Okay. Okay. Well, at that point, but if not, if so, I guess you gotta give her the benefit of the doubt. But my thing is, you're putting my stuff out there in front of everybody, but check her too. It just seemed when she said that, I was like, well, I guess you got a point.
Yeah.
I mean, she's still all the way wrong. Don't get me wrong.
She was just.
She was nasty.
She was nasty. I don't, and it was unnecessary. It was totally unnecessary. She did, and I do not eat up. I'm okay. Let me stop looking at comments. Sharice, when you come to reunion, it is the opportunity for you to be accountable, right? So the host of the reunion asks you a question, you answer it, right? Because that's what you do. You know that you're on this show and that you're going to be answering questions. The fact that Mo, I'm sorry, they are y'all giving me hell about them damn braids I had in. They clowning me about those braids. All right, enough, y'all. I've been seeing comments about, oh my gosh, I'm glad you got those braids out. Christal, no more side braids. Okay. Obviously, I'm gonna do. We're gonna be better into 2024. My TI fashions weren't quite right, and my braids were bad. But I just want y'all to know that. Well, that may not be a good thing. There are some people that like my braids. Either people liked them or they hated them. But anyway, I don't like the fact that Sharice came to the reunion and didn't want to answer questions, didn't want to be held accountable. I didn't like that. Because I feel like that's what you're here to do. You're here to answer questions. And Tanika, she was rude to her. She was low-key rude to her.
That's a fact. And I think they were like, what's the name did, even though she was wrong, she still answered. We're talking about when the whole Cam, did you stay the night thing. You see what I'm saying?
I'm surprised she finally told the truth. I just thought Zadi was going to lie again.
Told all the way the truth.
Well, she didn't. She did not. She did not tell the entire truth, but she did at least acknowledge that she stayed out.
Petty on that lie. I ain't gonna hold you. All y'all. I don't care what y'all say. She could lie. That was a little white lie. It wasn't gonna hurt nobody.
Are you talking about her staying out with Cam?
Yeah, well, she came in and people were like, oh, she's such a liar. I'm just like, what? I mean, y'all lie.
It's not the fact that she did it, it's the fact that she looked in the camera and lied numerous times. Like two
lied once.
No, she lied to Tamika. She lied in her confessional. Remember in the confessional, they said, so where? And she was like, I was in my room. And then she lied to Tamika, the matchmaker. She said she lied 2 or 3 times. She just kept.
Well, she had to keep the lie up, man.
She had to keep the lie alive.
Y'all are petty.
Keep the lie alive. She lied about lying.
That's what happened.
She did. You know what? It doesn't matter if she slept with him or not, because what we do know, and I said this before, that there are a lot of people that come on Ready to Love that do end up, being intimate, and they just don't tell the truth. Like it's all kind of stuff happening off camera that we don't know about. And if it happens off camera, we don't know. We can just tell all of a sudden somebody is more angry at somebody else than they should be. Like, you don't really be that passionately angry with somebody if there's nothing else that's happened. That's kind of weird when you see people just,
The first night?
Hey, man.
What? Okay.
Because of the picture that was shared with me. I mean, maybe she was curious about, the picture, or maybe about what she saw in person. Maybe she likes to do research and she needed to research the information. I don't think there's anything wrong with research.
Now, see, you say that with you, but then when I do my research on women.
Well, first of all, let me be clear. I don't do research.
No.
Not that fast. But what I do is
you post his research and say
I don't have a problem with other people doing research. I have no problem.
Okay.
And if you do research, that's fine. I mean, I may do research. In my past, I might have done research quicker than someone else did.
Not you, her. This ain't
But I'm
about.
just saying, like, I don't have a problem if she did the research. That's okay.
Okay.
It's okay.
Okay.
I mean, she's grown, and somebody else just didn't get caught doing it.
Okay.
Nothing wrong with that. My
I got
problem is just I feel like it's not about if they slept together. It's the fact that she lied about actually being out.
right.
She said she was in her room and she wasn't. And I do think this is a good point that Monica brings up. She told him that she hadn't had sex in a while. Who says it on the first meeting? What I can tell you is, even as a woman, because after a while in my dating experience, I decided to just be celibate because I just was tired of gifting people with things that they did that they were not able to qualify for. So that was my personal choice. But when you bring that up, it makes the man want to prove you wrong, right? So it becomes a challenge. Yes.
Okay. I've heard some women say that, and I don't believe I just have this magical power. Oh, it's you did it for me. Some women have said that. I'll be like, I think sometimes it sounds cool to say, because I mean, if you're lying about how old you are, you're lying about or your body count, you're lying about, well, to make me feel like I gotta earn it or whatever. I've heard women say it, but then all of a sudden that night I hit. Then what? Now I'm supposed to take you serious? She lied. Now you're a liar? You see what I'm saying?
So would you rather a woman tell you, well, you know what, this is usually how I roll. I usually like to get it out the way early on.
Hey, the longest relationship I had, I hit the first date. Now we don't care about that.
You just care about if she lies about it.
Yeah, don't lie.
Or do you just care about if you like her or not? Because if she does, you're gonna make excuses for
This is true too.
it. You just nullified your whole argument there, but okay.
I mean, I go with the flow. Whatever, everybody, you could say the same thing as somebody else, but your energy in the room could be different. I could like it. It could be a lot of different nuances that, I don't know.
All right. Well, I feel like, okay, so outside of me being super irritated with Sharice, and I will say this to y'all. I will say this to you, to my XOers in the chat. I have been wrong. Okay. I have been trying to make excuses for Sharice, and the way she acted at that reunion, I realized that she has played me this whole time, because I really felt like she was trying, but nah, that was wild.
So
That
you
was
see the woman that we interviewed, that's not the same woman.
nah. That's why I said earlier, I'm like, I don't even believe that was really her. I think that was what she was putting on, because her energy was so nasty at that reunion towards everybody, that and she just came out swinging, and this just was no reason for that. So I will say, you got it, Mel. You got it. Y'all, all right, G-Dub. Y'all got it.
Oh, hold on. What about me? I've been saying it. I told you that.
I know, but they're clapping because I admitted I was wrong. But I want you guys to realize that this proves that women can acknowledge when they're wrong.
There you go. I respect that.
All right. Now, I want to know what you guys, now I want to bring some people in. I want to know what you guys thought about the reunion. What was your favorite part? What was the part that irritated you the most? I'm going to put the link in the chat, and Mo and I want you guys to come on now. Remember, you got to have your pajamas on. I got my effortless self-love. It's only coming up over one titty. Okay. Effortless Self-Love. And this is by Deo. It's a girlfriend of mine here that has
That's pajamas?
Yeah, it's pajamas. Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Deo. It's a company called Deo. And they have pajamas that are like sexy for women, so you can walk around the house and look, like in a dress or whatever. I don't really know if men like it, because men kind of prefer you wear the least amount as possible.
Not really.
Okay, so you want your woman to walk around in a full dress with a belt?
I don't know. Well, is the belt grabbing something like a waist and everything
Yeah,
else?
we're cinching the waist in and making it. It's very luxury. It feels like you could, walk around the house and be.
Best lingerie is my shirt, my t-shirt,
That's what I was saying. You cut
or
me off.
shirt. That's sexy.
That's my point. All right. I just put the link in the chat. So you guys, and thank you guys for coming back and hanging out with us. We're back over 300 people tuned in with us tonight. Let's get some people in because I want to talk about. I really want to talk about this reunion that we saw so far. Now we know the guys are going to come in next week, and
Woo!
that's going to be interesting. The guys are going to come in next week. If you have your pajamas on and you have something to say, please click on that link that I just put in the chat. I'll put it here again in just a second. And come on and let us know what you like. I will say that the last time that we did this, the viewer that came on that was in the chat, she actually had a really good question for Zadia, and it was really good. We actually cut that piece and shared it on social because she gave a good question. Yes, and yes, my hair is straight out the wrap, girl. Straight out the wrap. It didn't get enough. It didn't really get wrapped right, but it is straight out the wrap. I took it off and I combed it down to come on here and hang out with y'all. So yes, please click on that link. I just put it in the chat again. And if you want to come in and share, what was your most irritating moment from the reunion thus far? I can't imagine that it was more irritating than Sharice going off on everybody. I don't think that Ashley needed to go back at her so hard. That felt very over the top to me.
I felt offended just because she was consoling the girl 1 minute and then the girl turned on her.
Yeah, but it just was too much, though. It was just too much.
She's too much with everything. We you know how she go.
She is too much. It's just too much. It was just, hey, thank you for that. And you know what? Yes, I have another video that I'm going to post. Please get your copy this year. You know what? I'm going to tell you something, Mo. I appreciate you putting that up there. Dear Alpha Female, the book. I did an interview in Columbus, and I said in the interview, you saw that? So I said, if you want a soft life starts with a soft mouth.
Like that.
There's so many of us that, well, I want this and I want him to do this and I want him to do that. And then you want the guy to come in and rescue you and be the Prince Charming. Well, I don't know if anybody is familiar with Disney, but Prince Charming never rescues somebody that has a nasty attitude. It's always a person that's a sweet person that does good for others and has a good attitude. And he sees that and he wants to be a part of that. Nobody.
Why do you think Cinderella's sisters didn't get picked? That's the reason.
Because it's just Anne Marie says a soft life starts with a hard wig, according to TikTok. I don't know about that. But somebody says that Sharice must have not had any friends. And Tanika did bring up that point. She said that she felt like Sharice had been hurt by other females in her past. And she said, yes, but this is why I'm not giving her a pass for that. I'm not giving her a pass for that. I'm tired of that. Sharice is in her 40s. At this point, ma'am, it is your responsibility to figure out what is bothering you, what is hurting you, what is handicapping you, and to fix that. It is not new people's responsibility to try to get to know you and to deal with your issues. It's no one's issue but yours. And you have to take accountability. We all have to take accountability. So because somebody hurt you early on, you don't have a right to show up and be a bitch. You just don't.
She's not ready yet. That's all.
But nobody wants to be friends with somebody like that. So maybe you've had bad experiences, but nobody's going to want to be friends with you that way. Even with her saying that she misses her mom. Do you know how many people at age 44 have lost their parents?
Yep.
It's just not an excuse for treating people badly. It's not. It's not. So I'm just not going to give her that. She lashed out at everyone, even the host.
Yeah, that was like.
Even the host.
That and y'all still be chasing. Why y'all keep chasing that lady? Let her go.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it makes good for good TV, but then
Yeah. I actually feel like Bernicia, I thought Ashley went back and forth to her, too much, but I'd just be like, well, I mean, we good. Go on about your way. I'm good. I don't need friends like that. It's too much. Like everybody has dealt with hurt. At 44, everybody has dealt with loss. Like not that. And you said, Venus, that this was not Sharice's tribe, but hell, Sharice's tribe wasn't on the first time she was on Ready to Love. It wasn't her tribe, but it's because she made fun of another woman and said she had a name like a stripper. She did a lot of mean things. So it wasn't her tribe then. This time, I just, I did enjoy her on our show, but I just did not like her energy at the reunion at all. And I feel like it was really over the top and it was telling. And it made Zadia look like, I don't think either one of them are totally innocent, but it definitely, I mean, Zadia's story looked like it checked out a lot more than Sharice's.
that woman was holding back. That's what all that came. It just came all out.
But she didn't even want to talk about it. She's like, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to talk about this. Girl,
why are you there?
You on a TV show. They don't pay you to do this. This is part of the job. It's part of the job. It's part of the job. Now I do want to talk about her and LJ and that kiss. I put the link in there. Y'all have not clicked on the link. Y'all have all this to say in the chat, but ain't nobody clicked on the link. Now Mo done got his chest all oiled up. Yeah. And he's got his medallion sitting in the middle of it, and y'all are just not doing right by not clicking on the link. Okay?
I did 2 push-ups for this. Now, damn it, somebody log into the.
How long do the push-ups last?
You don't worry about that. I oiled my chest into push-ups, and I ain't do it for nothing. Damn it!
I just wonder because I work with artists, and they always do push-ups right before they go on stage, and I wonder how long does it last? If the blood gets pumping up, how long does that last?
It lasts long enough for this show. Now get to it. Somebody log in.
Get to it. Get to it. Somebody come on and let's talk about the thing. Now let me ask you about Sharice and LJ. They brought that back up about the kiss with the friend. So you and I are friends, have been friends for a long time. What do you think about, because Sharice said it was a friendly kiss. Zadia said
that's crazy. That's even cheek, maybe, and greeting, maybe here, real quick pack. But you talking about any in this region? No.
I agree.
No.
I agree. I do have friends that I'll kiss on the cheek or will kiss me on the cheek.
And here they do the little hum with it. That's when you really know when they go, mwah. I'm telling you. What's the name did that? Tabari did that. I noticed that. I was like, oh, he might not Tabari, Donald. I noticed that when he kissed Ashley, he did the little hum kiss.
Do it again. Do it again.
Yeah. Mwah. Mwah. That little hum, I'm telling you.
I didn't think about that, but I'm thinking now, at the last time a friend of mine gave me a kiss, I think they did go, well, yeah.
They posted that's violation. That, and when you hug somebody and you do, first of all, you ain't supposed to hug your friends or somebody's woman, one arm hug, and then God forbid if you do a little church rock back and forth.
I'm a notorious church hugger. I like to hug. I'm a church hugger, but yeah.
Back and forth.
Yeah, I don't rock back and forth, but I do kiss on the cheek. Some people, because it's just like with their family, and I kiss my family on the cheek, kiss my son on the cheek, not on the lips or anywhere, like you said, around this area. And not on the forehead. Like anytime forehead kisses or your kids, yes, and your significant other, but not friends. I do want to reiterate, y'all, that, and they said that they have their bonnets on, Mo, and they cannot come on.
No, we're welcome. At this point, we don't care. I might have a joke or two, but I'll say that we straight.
So if you have your bonnet on, because I took mine off.
Yeah, come on.
Welcome to what the doors of the church are open. Yeah, the doors of the church are open.
We are bonnet friendly.
We're bonnet friendly. We're bonnet friendly tonight. Yeah. So come on in. Come on. Two of y'all come together so that you're okay with it. But I think that LJ was a slickster, and he's from the Caribbean. I think that I would be a little skeptical. Oh, okay. Conjunction is back. She came on before. Okay, girl. Hey,
What's
girl.
up, y'all?
Hey,
Welcome back. First of all, you gave us a great question last time for Zadia. We played that. We cut that clip
You
and
really
played
did.
it.
I
Yes.
know. So, like subtitles with the icons and the clock. I was like, what?
Yes, we had to. So welcome tonight. What was your thoughts on the reunion, the first piece of the reunion?
So I thought it was a lot of filler information. Like you guys said, it could just been one episode. Let's get straight to the drama. I think Zadia's dress looked really beautiful, and I think the headpiece on Ashley was really pretty.
Okay.
I think Charisse was tripping. Like Charisse has some type of like issue, because she started screaming at Ashley, and Ashley was like, like, what's the problem? Like, I never did anything to you. And she's like, I'm not talking about you. But you were talking about her. You literally were pointing at them and you're like, they outcasted me. Like, that's when I started to see that Zadia she was speaking facts, because on Ready to Love, she was a problematic one. But now here on Ready to Make a Move, she was speaking facts. Like, literally, we've only saw her talking to Charisse and trying to like apologize. And even though she wasn't even wrong in the beginning she was like, sis, you exposed me. Like, it was unnecessary. And then she started screaming at everybody. Like, Charisse has some deep rooted issues, and it came out on the reunion.
Mhm.
That's what I think. And I think it was weird how the host was like, where were you, Zadia? Like, were you out with Cam all night? Like, yeah, she's a woman. Obviously, if she was out, doing her 1-2 with Cam, let her do her thing. Like, why you guys want clout so much that everyone's trying to come for Zadia, and she's not even the problematic one this season. It's really Charisse, and the host was kind of shady too.
Yeah, I can see that. I can see that. What did you think about the whole idea of with Zadia and Cam? Because I do think that Zadia, I think as far as Charisse is concerned, it made sense. But did you hear Zadia's explanation of her situation with Cam? And how do you feel about it right before the reunion, that finale, when they went through it again? We said that we felt like Cam was like, he really he doesn't want to keep going. How do you feel about that?
I think she was just like, okay, let me go with the process. He's mid, like she said, like before on live. He wasn't doing too much. In real life, she would have dropped him, but she was going with the process. He wasn't disrespectful. He was, good looking. And I feel like she was like, okay, let me just go with the process. I'm not going to look bad by dating this guy and finishing off the process. But in real life, she wouldn't have gone for him. But she doesn't want to be played on TV. So obviously, she was trying to keep it cool. She went to New Orleans. Let's have a good time. I don't think she was even going to make a move and actually move for a man. Like, Zadia's very, she seems like a very smart girl. So she was like, okay, this guy, he's not like, I'm not going to be 100% committed, but for this process, for this show, let me keep things going. Let me have a good time. But I'm not going to be played for a fool. So like the host coming at her, Charisse coming at her, she was like, I know what I'm doing here, like, I don't think she was going to marry Cam, but I think for like where she was at this time in her life, she was like, okay, let me have some fun and see how it goes. He seems like a good looking guy, nice guy, treats me well. He's a busy guy, but I'm not going to move to New Orleans anyways,
Mm-hmm. Did you, with the question that you asked her basically was like, did she take ownership for the fact that he didn't seem like he was really vested, with his answers? How did you feel about the way she responded to that question?
I think it was super real. She was like, in real life, I wouldn't have. This is the thing. Like, for me, I can separate me from others. So like for her, she would go on a show, and if a guy is like kind of like not, in real life, he wouldn't treat her the way that she wanted to be treated. She would drop him, but on a show, she would probably like keep it going. I wouldn't be like that, but I can respect her decision. Like, she was like, okay, maybe she wants to do a spinoff. Like, Charisse and her man, they want to do a spinoff. So people will do things for ratings, right? So if that's what she wants to do, maybe she has other things like planned right after the show. Maybe she has hopes and dreams for more airtime. So at least she's keeping it real. I respect that. If somebody's like, hey, in real life, I wouldn't go with this man, but on the show, I would stay with a man who's not giving me what I want. Keep it real. I respect it, you know? But if she was like, oh, I really wanted him, then I would be like, you're Delulu, sis. Like, if you want him, he doesn't want you the way you want him, you know? But she's keeping it real. So I can respect that.
Okay.
There
Mo?
it is. No, I totally get that. It makes sense. It makes sense. All right. So in the situation, Vernisha, what do you think about? I mean, I don't know if you got a chance to catch a little bit of the rant. Well, what do you think about that?
In terms of what rant?
Like
the video. Let me play it. Let me play the video again of Vernisha talking. So we played this right when we got back on, and this was Vernisha's response to the feedback that she got from last night's episode. This is a little clip. It's a 50-minute conversation, but we couldn't play all of it. So here's a little bit.
Very well. I'm good with my words. And I have a pure heart. And I'm genuine. But I don't play internet games. Leave me alone. Pay attention. Think before you type. Get yourself together. Make a dentist appointment or even a gynecologist appointment. Or get a maid service to clean them nasty ass houses. Do something with your time besides sitting on this internet and going back and forth about something you was not there. And if you're paying attention, yeah, the editing, they do all the editing in the world, but the proof is in the pudding. I ain't said this 3-4 times about the non-communication because it was happening. Think. Use your brains. Y'all don't always have to side with the men just because they're the type of man that you would want. They probably don't want you. Hell, all of them don't want me. And if you do, act like you do. Because the first sign that I get that you ain't that interested, hey, baby, I'm gone. I'm good. Yeah. Because I am a woman that's wanted. Believe it or not. Yeah, I have a lot of options. Anything else? Because y'all done got on my damn nerves today. And I don't hardly go back.
They had got on her nerves. What do you think? What are your thoughts on conjunction on her feedback?
Okay, so I love Vern. Like, she's amazing, but I think she could be more positive when it comes to Tabari. I think she has like a lot of, like, I don't know if it's like issues or something, like with, I don't know, maybe she's had a lot of bad experiences. So if a man is not doing things a certain way that she wants, she comes off real. She had disdain. Like, I feel like even on the show, she was like, oh, you did this, but you didn't do this. You didn't call me. And like her face was just like all like negative, like so much. You know, sometimes when the reaction doesn't warrant like the action, there's something behind it. So I feel like she has some work to do. That's what I'll say. Like, I love Vern, but she has some work to do, sis, because he brought your mom. He brought you on a beautiful tour around New Orleans. Like, he was trying his best. If his best is not good enough, that's okay. He's not the man for you. But there's a way to go about it. You can say, like, you have a lot of great qualities, but I just personally feel like you're not the man for me, you know? Like, you can be respectful. I just feel like you could see the disdain on her face when it came to Tabari. It's like, why you hate him so much? What did he really do to you? He didn't do nothing to you. So something from your past, maybe he triggered you or whatever. And I don't like people like that, you know? And I love Vern, but I just feel like don't project. I really don't like projection, because Tabari might feel like, oh, there's something wrong with me. The next girl he dates, he might give half of what he was already giving. And it's just going to get worse. The cycle will continue. So it's like,
let me ask you this. I'm gonna jump in because she said she was clear today, and she hadn't been clear before. She said that he never called her outside of the time the cameras were on. Right. She said that he would show up. He did not put any effort into the dates. Now this is her side of the story. We haven't talked to Tabari, but she said that he never showed up except when production had a date planned. He never put anything into it outside of that. So with that being said, that kind of explained to me why she was so irritated with him, because at first I was like, what is she expecting? But when she cleared it up and said, okay, when you're not putting effort and then you are only calling me. I mean, you're only showing up when production calls. Sometimes it seemed like she didn't even know, she hadn't even talked to him before he showed up. So he would get the call from production and show up. And then tonight, on yesterday's episode, she said that she was surprised that he was surprised because she'd been saying these same things. So yes, he brought his mother, but what do you think about the fact that he put no effort into dating her outside of showing up when production would schedule something for them?
If that is actually true, she should have said that on camera, because I just feel like it makes her look bad, because it makes her look like kind of like an angry, Black woman. You seem fine, everything's going fine, but you're just angry for no reason, and then you come on the reunion like it looks bad. So if that's the truth, come on camera and be like, I don't feel like you're being truthful. Like Charisse, she keeps it real. She'll be like, hey, like, I don't feel like this is genuine, blah, 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 blah. At least you can understand her side. But Vern, I'm not seeing that here. Like, why would you wait till like an interview on YouTube or something to be like, oh, this is a true side. Oh, the editing was wrong. The production was wrong. Wait till go back on camera, and you should have said that to him on camera so that we could see a balanced perspective, so we could come up with that on our own.
We still got part 2. I'm gonna give it. We're gonna see. There's still
no,
part.
From what I see now, she just seems like she has, like, I don't know, disdain for him, and it just looks like one-sided.
Now, When in Rome had a good point. She says nothing was the same once she told him that he was too clownish. He changed. I do. My personal opinion is that this show, the women are very candid with their criticism, their critiques of the men. And I think that is not always taken, in a positive way. I didn't think about that. That could have really been, he could have changed his energy, because she did seem very disgusted with the fact that she said he was always clowning, and she wanted people to see another side of him.
That's a good point. And maybe you get another side of him and you don't like that.
I don't know. I don't think it's even a candid. I feel like there's like the candid level, and then there's like sometimes it's like another issue, because like Ashley was like, oh, this is about me. It's like, sis, you are two people in a, dating. Like, this is not about you. You can't date yourself. So like there's me, and then there's real life. There's human beings here. This is not about the cameras. This is not about you getting your W after your previous L. This is not a competition. This is real life. Like, these are feelings. These are people. So it's like sometimes people be like Charisse yelling at Ashley, like, I don't know what happened to her, but you to scream at another girl who has had your back. Like, sometimes you can see like there's other issues that are going on below the surface that are not being addressed here. And there has to be a basic level of respect for Tabari, who's trying his best, for Ashley, who's trying to be a good friend, for Charisse, who's like going through issues, and people need to try to understand what she's going through. It's like there's so many levels here.
Well, I appreciate your comments, and I appreciate you coming on
Thank you.
with us. I really do. The rest of you are really not showing up.
Come on, guys.
We appreciate Conjunction. I got one more question for you before we let you go. What are you looking forward to hearing? We saw a little clip from the reunion that will finish next week. Hopefully they better go the whole hour, and it better be juicy, because they done stretched this out so much. Y'all better quit playing and have us go the whole hour and make sure it's right. But what guy are you looking forward to hearing his side? Because we've really only heard, we're hearing, just like with Vernisha sharing that tonight, we've only heard her side. With Ashley, we've only heard really her side. Whenever Donald's friend girl tried to, explain his side, but she did it the wrong way, and we didn't hear that. So which guy are you looking forward to hearing their side of the story after all this time?
Good question. I'll be honest, just because, actions speak louder than words. So the Ashley so-called friend who came on and was like flirting, oh, you got a brother, what I'm saying? Like the Donald guy who's all quiet when Ashley's getting roasted, like the other guy who was like flirting back with Ashley's friend. we've seen actions speak louder than words. We've already made up our minds. You know, you can't blame it on editing, because you said the words came out of your mouth, or the lack of words, like Donald, came out of his mouth. You know what I mean? So I've seen what I've needed to see. I've made up my own mind. So there's nothing they can tell me, because the body language speaks for itself. You know, words or lack thereof speaks for itself. So I don't really need to see anything from anyone. I've made up my mind. I can see here. I'm like, oh, you tripping, you tripping, you tripping. So there's nobody that I need to hear from.
Okay. Oh, wow. Okay. Okay. All right. That's interesting. I would like to hear. I'm always interested, because I do think there's more that we don't see because of editing. I think that I wish Don would have spoken up, as opposed to having his friend do that, right? Because I feel like he probably had. I know for me, if I went on a date, and you guys both can answer this, if I went on a date with someone and I was dating them, and they were constantly telling me everything that they didn't like about me, and telling me I needed to work hard for them, I would probably react like
For
the
sure.
guy reacted. So that's what I want to hear, if the guys had that experience, because that's what it looked like we were seeing. We were seeing, well, what are you going to do to keep me? Even Sharice and Maurice, like, well, you got me now. What are you going to do? What are you going to do to keep me? Okay, you got to keep, like, girl, that is not how real dating works. So I'm interested to hear how Don felt when Ashley told him that he couldn't dress, you know, that he needed to stop wearing loafers all the time. Because I think there's a better way to say that. But, you know, maybe he wasn't offended by that. I'm interested to hear back from Kirsten, because it was obvious he did not want to be there with Ashley.
That's what I want to hear from.
Yeah. So those are the two that I really want to hear. We've heard from Mizell. I really do think that Mizell was, I think a lot of the guys just were caught off guard with the fact that this show was not ready to love, and they wanted more options.
Yeah.
Right?
I feel like if Donald, he didn't say anything the whole season, like Ashley, like you said, she was telling him how to dress, what to do, blah, blah, blah. Like, he was so passive. Why would we, like, me personally, I would like to hear Donald's real feelings from the beginning, like how his heart really felt. You know, every time Ashley was like pointing at him, like he tried to like say a little, and then she would come at him harder, and then he would be passive and apologize, bring flowers or lights or whatever. So it's like, why would I expect different from the reunion? You know what I mean? I would love to hear his true feelings, but I don't personally feel like his true feelings are going to come out on the reunion, because he stayed for so long. You took it for so long. Why would you wait till the reunion? Even if you spoke the truth on the reunion, you look bad, bro. Like, you had all season to speak up for yourself and advocate for yourself, and you wait till the reunion, the last episode, to be like, I don't like the way you talk to me, Ashley. Bro, like, get a backbone.
Man, I was about to say that. That's right.
And do. Last question for you, Conjunction. What do you think has been the biggest lesson in this season? Because I think these are all great dating teachable moments and lessons. So what do you think has been the best lesson that you have witnessed? Maybe not one that you needed, but just the overall lesson from this series.
A good lesson here is, like, you know how Ashley, when she sat down with, I don't know, she sat down with different people and she was like crying. Even now, like, I think the latest episode, she's like, she wants to go against her feelings. Like, her feelings are telling her heart is telling her one thing, but then she's like, oh, I'll be your friend, or oh, I'll give you a chance even though you flirted with my friend. Like, girl, stop tripping, because you're crying for yourself, because you know a couple of years later or a year later you're gonna regret this decision, you know? And I've been there, we've all been there, where we're like, our mind knows this is a bad like decision for us, but our heart is like, oh, we want him, like Zadia, like she's you know, I don't know if it's stigmatized or she's some type of traumatized, you know what I mean? So it's like, let's be real here. You're crying because you're crying for your future self, you know? And so that's one thing that I'm like, damn, I feel bad for you, but I'm glad I learned that lesson.
Yeah, no, I love that. Thank you so much, Conjunction. We got another viewer we're going to bring on here. Thank you so much for joining us, and we'll be back to talk next week. Hopefully we'll get you on again. All right, Robin, thank you so much for joining us, girl.
Yes, happy to be here. Listen, I gotta be bundled up.
I'm not mad at it. I am not mad at it. Welcome. What do you think? What was your favorite part? What pissed you off during the reunion? What did you like?
Chile. Where do I start? Where do I start? It was a mess. I mean, first of all, I was very disappointed because I really was thinking I was going to get a full reunion, and I basically got 15 minutes of like, what are we doing here? Like, y'all could have just skipped the whole who they gonna pick and just went straight to the reunion. That was what pissed me off. That was
Yeah.
one of the first things. And also, obviously, Sharice and the way that she blew up, it wasn't very ladylike. And I feel like she tries to do such a good, well, I wouldn't say good job, but she tries to kind of hold it together. But the moment someone points the finger at her, she just explodes. And it
Mm-hmm.
gets everywhere and it's messy and it's like it makes it so uncomfortable because it's just like she don't care who catches strays, and we already saw her do that at a reunion before, so it's on brand for her to do something like that. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? I have some different opinions about Zadia and Cam because
Okay.
I've been watching, and I definitely feel like Zadia likes Cam more. But I think Cam likes Zadia because you constantly hearing about like I've tuned into to some IG lives, and I feel like Zadia has made a point and Cam has made a point to say that they hung out off camera a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And so to me, that tells me, okay, maybe when y'all are filming, it's not convenient because you're working, but you're going to keep showing up for this girl. So that means something. You know what I'm saying? Like everybody doesn't emote the same way. And sometimes I think, I think maybe it's a short amount of time. And I think we all as viewers have to keep that in mind. And
Mm-hmm.
so I think Zadia wasn't willing to really let anybody else in because she was so focused on him. And they had an easy connection from jump, like from the first time they sat down together. Do I think they're going to get married and have children? We'll have to see about that.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
do actually think he likes her a lot. I just think that editing really, he said it a lot. He said a lot. Like, I mean, you just do whatever you want to do. I'm not here to pressure you or nothing. You know what I mean?
What about
So,
him telling her that he was okay with her dating other people? He just
right,
Men
friends. Like I think he does like her, but I agree with Hey You 7 her 3. He likes her, but not likes her. Like I think he does
right,
like her, but for him to say consistently, and even though we know that a lot was edited out, he does keep telling her that he's not really ready and he doesn't really have the time. So he understands if she's not, if that's not okay with her.
right. That's facts. That's facts. But I do think after we've seen all the people that have, all the men that have come through the show, I actually think Zadia made a good move because I think at least with him, she could have a good time. And I think if she would have let him go for somebody else, she would have doubled back. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? Because we had that episode where people double back, and I think he would have ended up coming back on there. So I think he was a safe choice. I think she
yeah.
felt comfortable with him. He's a good looking guy. You know what I'm saying? He probably checked a lot of boxes.
Mhm.
So I understood why she kept him around. And I think, yeah, of course, I don't think he wanted her to look bad on camera. And I think he kind of was just like, not right now. Like, you're cool, but like, not right at this moment.
I
You know what I'm
agree with
saying?
yeah.
So that's how I felt about Zadia and Cam. But theirs was really the only romance that I was kind of rooting for him. I was hoping that it would work out, but everybody else, it was a mess for me.
A whole mess. What about what are your thoughts on Vernicia telling us via her live that the men were paid to be there and
Right.
that they didn't plan dates, production planned the dates, at least for the ones that we saw. Production planned the dates. So if Tabari and whoever else, maybe Donald, we don't know, because she only spoke about her situation, but only showed up when production planned a date and paid for a date and they got paid. She said, at this point, you're showing up to work. How did you feel about that? And do you feel like she made the right decision in the way that she, let him go tonight or the Friday night?
I 100% think that Tabari was there to be on camera. I 100% thought, I think a lot of times on these shows, we know with like Ready to Love, half of the people there are trying to get a big break out of it. They're trying to kind of get some leverage out of the situation. And so I think once she kind of told him, like, you need to show up, I want you to show up like authentically. I almost think it kind of took him off his square a little bit because I think that was going to be his thing, to be like, oh, you saw me on Ready, on Ready to Love, I was making a couple jokes, you might want to come see me on Friday night on the open mic. And I feel like I think at that point in the competition, I think she probably was exhausted of the options that were left. I think had she known how it was going to go, she probably would have been better off sticking with Jabari, because at least they had a genuine connection. They had a lot of things that they agreed on, and they had kind of similar backgrounds. I think Tabari looks good on paper. I mean, I think financially, the fact that he's doing well for himself is cool. But if you're not hitting me up, like, that's the thing with Cam, it may have looked like he was like, I'm trying to cut you off nice, but he was showing up for her. He was showing up for her when the cameras weren't there, and they have a story to tell. So it was easier to tell the story of like, girl, you looking like a stage 5 clinger. He wants to let you go. Whereas with Tabari, I'm feeling like you're showing up on camera and you're aware of yourself. So you're giving something that she's not seeing otherwise. And it's
Yeah.
just kind of like, in real life, if you want me to choose you, you got to show up. Like, you got to do something. And I think she tried to be as sweet as she could be about it. But I think ultimately she made the right decision. I don't see it as her being hard on him. I think she was frustrated, and she finally got to that point where she was just kind of like, you're not being consistent. And so I'm going to call you out now.
Yeah. Automatic says Cam hit early. Of course, he was showing up.
I think what was happening now, I'm thinking about it, everybody's gunning for the spinoff. So let me ask
right.
you, what spinoff would you rather see, Zadia and Cam or Maurice and Sharice?
That's the only choices I have. I'm going to go with Zadia and Cam because Sharice isn't likable for me. I think if Sharice was on a healing journey, that might be something different, to see her open up and like actually feel love. I definitely think that Maurice was the best pick for her, and it was nice to kind of see her soften up. But it's just so hard because there's like this nastiness that kind of comes through. I'm not saying she's a nasty person, but I do think that it's just this thing that she got nasty ways, and they just eke out. Like, it doesn't matter how many times you try to put the lid on it. It's something that comes out of her. And I guess more so with women, it's a trigger point for her,
Well,
and so
guys too, though, right?
She got into it with guys on the season that she was on.
That's true too. I mean, also with Maurice, I think the whole time I would be like, are we doing this for cameras? Like, are y'all doing this because you want to be on camera and like get some more time? Whereas with Zadia and Cam, I actually feel like Zadia has real investment, like feelings wise. It could be a train wreck, but I think that I would much rather see what could happen between them. I mean, if that's what I had to choose between the two.
Yeah. What about Ashley and Don? Because I mean, even though Ashley did choose him, I don't exactly know what she chose him for. But
listen, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? Like, the whole season, I'm just like, you keep making it seem like you done with him, but then you're like, well, but I think that I'm just going to keep you. Like, I don't want to see that week after week after week. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you need an alpha male because you're bringing alpha energy, then just say that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. It's almost like what was hard about watching Ashley is I think we all can relate, in the sense that from seeing her from the previous season and seeing that hurt and that pain, we want to see her win, right? We want to see all the ladies win. But to see that she was never satisfied. I think she came on to prove that, she was in charge. I'm in charge this time. This is my show. This is my turn. And I think it almost overshadowed the whole point of being there. And I mean, even out of the choices she has, I mean, let's be clear, like, it wasn't a lot of great choices. And so Don was safe because he wasn't going to push back. I think a part of her liked that he wasn't going to push back on her. I think that she liked that she could kind of just say anything and he would just smile and nod and awkwardly just let it be what it was. And so it was, I honestly felt bad for both of them in a way, because I felt like, Don, you need to stand up in the most respectful way. You need to stand up and speak up for yourself, because she might respect you more if you just, if you try to set your boundaries firm. You know what I'm
Early,
saying?
early.
Not after the friend railroaded her. He
Mhm.
should have said it before that, because nobody wants to hear that type of stuff come from your friend. Because that's telling me y'all chatting, y'all hitting each other up, and you like, this chick, whatever, she on TV, she's cool, she's pretty or whatever, but like, she's railroad me constantly, because his friend came with way too much ammunition.
Well, this is the interesting thing. And I agree 100% with you. I think that I think a lot of times women say they want an alpha male, but an alpha male is not going to allow you to talk that talk and do all that. First of all, they have no patience for it. I have
Right.
a friend of mine. It's funny. I was talking to a friend of mine this weekend who is he's very successful, extremely like a boss, a boss, right? And he told me, he was like, I don't want to hear, like, when I meet a woman, she should know that I'm a leader by how I present myself and how I come across. I don't want any challenge on that. And I said, well, can't you be patient? He was like, I don't want to. I was like, got it. So that's the thing. It's like, when you get that, what you say that you want is not going to allow you to do that. But it's also funny that women like the fact that they can push some guys around, but that very same quality that lets Ashley kind of push Donald around, also his friend, is also why he didn't stand up to his friend, because his personality.
Right.
So he's passive with you, he's passive with them, he's passive with other people. That is just who he is. And if
Right.
she had a guy that actually like called her out, which is what she said, well, I want you to stand up and protect me. Well, first of all, I'm gonna protect myself against your mouth, because you coming at me with
Right.
all this, I don't like how you wear it. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
Mo, let me ask you, what would you say if a girl told you that she didn't like the shoes, you needed to get you need to up your fashions, and like, what would your response be if a girl said that to you with that same energy?
Well, I push her and I start talking about her outfit or some other shit. But I'm not putting. I mean, it just ain't for you. Like, that's all. Like, it just ain't for you.
Are you gonna go back and forth with her about, okay, I'm gonna fix my outfit?
Oh,
And
no, there's no going. No, we're not negotiating my outfits. No.
that's what I'm saying. Like, what she wants, the way she shows up and presents.
But you gotta check, as a man, you gotta check it early. You thinking you're gonna run it away. And the dudes I know, they feel like they're gonna push it away. But to me, if you do it, you try it. And that's why I had to tell somebody, try it early, and you'll be surprised. By the time they do try it, what did Jay-Z say? You can't change the player's game in the ninth inning? It's too late.
Right. I think Don wanted to be on TV too. I mean, I think all of them wanted to enjoy that little 15 minutes of fame. And so I almost wish he would have self-eliminated. Like, I really feel like if he would have pulled something like that, not to be a stunt, but to be true to himself, she would have respected it a little bit more. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just too available at her beck and call. And then the way she just trampled him, like she just kind of ran all over him, which makes her look bad, because it's clear that he's not giving you what you need. So why do you keep bringing him back? Like, when she started off saying she wasn't going to choose him, I was like, cool. But then she kind of pulled him back in. I'm like, you playing yo-yo with him. Like, make a decision.
I like what this said, what Keisha said, which is true. Don's friend knew he would not tell Ashley, so she took charge. She was taking up for him. I've been in a situation like that with guys and girls. When you know that I got a girlfriend, because I'm not a fighter. Like, I'm not gonna fight with you. If I don't like something, I'm gonna fall back. But I got a girlfriend that's a fighter, and so she'll be like, "Wait a minute, somebody messed." Like, she'll step in on my behalf. I don't need that, but I get it that she knows Crystal's not gonna do that, so I got her back. The friend was stepping up because she knew that he is a passive guy, and from what he's telling her, she feels like Ashley was running over him. So I agree with Miss View, who says Don could be problematic as well. Being passive aggressive does not work well in relationships. It doesn't. It is always bad.
So,
it is always bad.
You think that's going to make that guy more attractive to you? At that end, you got to be done with it. Both sides.
Yeah. Okay, why do people keep calling him Rent Don? Why y'all keep saying he's pay the rent money Don? What is going on? Why do people?
Yeah, what's that about?
I thought you may know because people in the chat keep calling him Rent Money Don. All season long, people have been saying that Don needs the rent money, and hearing that they were getting paid. And again, trust me, y'all, I know how much the ladies were getting paid. It's not my place to share that. But if the ladies were getting paid what they were getting paid, I know the guys were not getting paid very much. So there's no like he wasn't paying the rent with that.
But let me ask you this: are those contracts that they sign?
Yeah, they have to pay. They have to sign a contract.
You're signing it based on the fact that you thought this was a different show, and they do the whole bait and switch. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because all of them said they thought this was a different show.
And Bernicia even admitted that when she came on, she was like, "I think they did think it was a different show."
There it is.
But at what point do you say, okay, this isn't what I thought it was? Like, how bad do you need that check? Like, how bad do you need that check?
Check wasn't checking.
Their whole
checking. But I think it's more about being on TV. I think you can get people. If I told people right now, hey, I got a deal with VH1. And if you come on, I'm gonna pay you $100 an episode, but you get to come on. I would be inundated with people that want to be on TV. People want the opportunity to be on TV. Okay, hold on. We got another person coming in. So thank you so much, Robin. We
no
got
problem.
Coming in. Let us go ahead and bring Zalika. We're gonna bring Zalika up. Zalika, welcome.
Hey guys, you guys here?
Hey.
Thank
you for joining us tonight. I'm loving this. Okay, this is what I'm talking about. My XOers are in the building. We're coming in.
So I'm joining you guys from Guyana, and the time is a little different here.
Oh, welcome.
Yeah. And my accent is a little different. So I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. Let me touch on Vern for a little bit because I'm really kind of frustrated with Vern.
Okay.
I think Vern's first season on Ready to Love, her dress code and everything, it was different. It was classy, it was sexy, it was timeless. She looked like a woman who was actually ready to love and was looking for something serious.
Okay.
This season on Make a Move is like how Stella got her groove back. She was, I don't know what it was, but it was like this new like pep in her step, like we would say, our Guyanese thing, you know. She was very extractive. She was sexual. She was sensual. It was just, I think it was a little too much. If you look at these podcasts with these men and they talk about their first impressions of women and so on, I mean, a man looking at her, his first impression would be like, maybe I just want to hit, you know? And I believe her when she says she has a lot of options, but nobody's staying. You got a lot of options. Everybody like what they see, but you're 42 years old and nobody's staying. So nobody never questioned her options, but do you have serious options? Are these people seriously interested in you? Right? That is my takeaway from Vern. And I think why she got so angry and went on that rant is because she knew what the podcasters were saying is true. A lot of it is true. So they were hitting the hammer on the nail, as we Caribbean people would say. And and she got upset with that, right? So she decided to talk about who needs to see a dentist, who needs to get their house clean, and all these crazy low blows. Like if she knows what goes on in these people's homes, she doesn't. So I think Vern needs to do a little, reevaluation of herself, and really, I want to see that classy Vern that I saw on Ready to Love, the first, her season.
Let me ask you this, Zalika, because I agree. Her energy was different on the first season. But you watched the first season, so you know what happened. Joelle, you know, I really did. I was really rooting for them. I was rooting for them. He seemed on camera with her, really into her from the beginning. Like
Mhm.
from the time he saw her, he seemed smitten. He seemed really focused on her. And then as we got to the end, it seemed like he wasn't really, he was kind of sneaking, talking to other women and doing other stuff. So I feel like Renisha was kind of blindsided, right? And that might have made her feel some kind of way because when I interviewed her, she did say that she had no idea. She was very honest about the fact she did not know. She was blindsided by him doing that. So do you think that maybe getting hurt and getting you know, kind of getting having egg on her face that first time caused her to come back like in a whole with different energy this time?
I think it's possible, but I believe that at her age and stage in life, when you would have experienced heartbreak and so on, you don't allow that to change you.
Mm,
To be better for the next man. You want to be you for the next man that comes along. You want to be the same loving, open, genuine person. I think Vern is not accustomed to the internet beating her down because her first experience, persons were giving her a lot of grace. They sympathized with her, they empathized with her. I think Joel was a villain. So
mm,
now that she is getting some heat from the internet, she can't handle it.
mm-hmm,
That's what
mm,
I think she's not accustomed sitting in the hot seat. But
yeah.
I really think that Tabari is the man she didn't know she needed.
Mm.
I
Jabari or Jabari?
I think Tabari. I think Tabari. I think
Wow.
because she was in a position where she has a man that likes her more than she likes him. And I think every day with him, over time, that love was going to grow. It's like in the Indian community, in the Caribbean community, when you do a match wedding, then listen, I don't know my husband, we're just matched. But if he's amazing, that love tends to grow. I
Mm,
think he is the man she never knew she needed. And I think that he was going to make it his life's mission to make sure that she gets everything she needs because he was very smitten with her. I think he liked her a lot.
Interesting. Interesting.
I think he liked her a lot.
why do you think his communication was not consistent?
I don't want to. I think I want to hear what he has to say next.
Smart.
The reunion next week. I think I want to hear what he has to say because that sounds a little off to me. Because this man is completely into you. He brings his mother to see you. You spoke to him about the communication. He apologized, and you're saying that he never communicated outside of seeing you on camera. I don't
Mhm.
know. I gotta hear both sides. Something does not sit right with me. Where
That's
that
why.
is.
That's wise. Let me ask you this. I like you have some wisdom. You're sharing some wisdom with us across the ocean. Um,
Yeah.
what do you think of Sharice? Because I said tonight, I apologize. I have had Sharice's back because I really felt like Sharice had gone through some hurtful things and was trying. My perspective watching her tonight was that I was wrong.
Mm.
And so I want to hear from you. What did you think of her behavior at this first part of the reunion tonight?
Well, there's a part of me that thinks that Sharice is lucky that none of those ladies are Caribbean. That's one. That's one. that, that's the that's the Caribbean part of me saying that. But Sharice got a lot of growing to do. I think Zadia. I think she didn't handle Sharice the way she should have. I think she wasn't. She didn't. She wasn't. I wanted Zadia to be a little bit more of a force to be reckoned with. I think the real Zadia should have stood up.
Mm,
You know. And I think Zadia really kind of like she was a bit more reserved because of the cameras and her experience with the cameras
Great
in the
point.
and I think Cherise
hmm
came into it like, hey, I don't care. They say I'm the villain, so I'm gonna do me. And I think
Yeah,
Zadia should have definitely stood up to Cherise.
yeah.
I would have liked to see maybe a Mike Tyson and Holyfield kind of thing with the two of them. Balance it out.
Yeah,
I,
I think Zadia's way of just kind of being very dismissive. I like that. I hate seeing black women fight on TV,
They-
but I did not like. I felt like Sharice was totally. You're right. She is lucky she was on this with this cast, because the way she was talking to Ashley was doing a lot of talking. But if she had been sitting next to somebody else, we
Woo.
might have ourselves. Is there anybody that you wish would have gotten another chance? Anybody that you thought made the wrong choice in the man that they chose to bring to the end?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I think with Donald and Ashley, like I said, I am way across the ocean. I got my friend in India that listens to this program, and we look at the show, and weekly we see this woman embarrassing this man.
Mm.
And she's embarrassing him in a public setting, on a public forum, and it's ridiculous because everybody around the world is seeing this woman embarrass this man. Now,
Yeah.
what is wrong with his loafers? I like loafers. I don't see anything wrong with it, you
Mhm.
know. And I think that if she had something to tell him about his dress code, since they communicate a lot offline, she should have told him then. Don't have him on television for the world to see, and then embarrass him for people like me who like chicken curry to see that you embarrassing this man,
Yeah.
right? So I think it was ridiculous. I think he's there. I think he stood out. I think he stuck it out for the check. I think he stuck it out for the check. That's what I think. Because if no money was involved, I don't think Donald would have stuck it out.
Mm.
See, I think different. I think that's his character, and that he's just not going to say anything. He's passive.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it was too consistent with the same thing.
I don't think he would I don't think he would have kept dating Ashley if she wasn't on the show. I don't think that. I think he would have just probably ghosted her, because I think he seems very passive. But the thing about passive people that I've learned, a person can be passive, but that doesn't mean that they're not upset. That passive aggressive is a monster, because what will happen is they're angry, they're just not expressing it. And then when it does come out, it will surprise you, and you will find out that they were resentful of you the entire time. So just because he's not saying anything doesn't mean that he isn't angry, that he's not embarrassed, that he did not feel some kind of way. He just is probably a non-confrontational person. And going back to what the person in the chat said earlier, his friend was responding to that, right? Because she was standing up for her friend, because she knew that he would not do it for himself. Now, that wasn't her place to do, but I did think that that's why she did it, because she knew that Donald is not the type to, and there are a lot of situations like that with men and women, where the man just takes or the woman just takes it, and then eventually they lash out or they leave, and the other person's like, why? Because they're thinking that I can just keep pushing them and they're fine because they're not saying anything.
Whose fault is that at the end of the day?
Well, that's the person who didn't say anything. It's their fault.
I know that Mo does not agree with the friend voicing her opinion and speaking up for Donald, but he had to, because if I'm telling you now that I am sitting in Guyana and I am seeing what's happening, imagine the embarrassment that he would have felt. And then he went and relayed this to his friend. I mean, somebody had to check Ashley, because somebody had to do it, and it wasn't going to be Donald.
So you don't think the friend could have pumped Donald up to finally doing it himself?
I think Donald is, like you said, that's just how he is. He takes and takes and takes, and then when he can't take anymore, boom! It's like a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And maybe if he had kind of exploded on Ashley, then we would have probably been saying something different, because then it's a man kind of, exploding on a woman,
Right.
on a public platform like that. So I think the friend, maybe she could have done it a little better. Look, I'm lying. I'm lying. She couldn't have done it any better. I'm lying.
Well,
I'm gonna be honest.
but
I'm gonna be honest. I don't think she could have done it any better.
when
You
you
know.
have a party giving personal information, and
Mhm.
I mean, your natural instinct is to be a little defensive. Like, I'm getting third. You see what I'm saying?
I
How
think
would you?
we're
If,
guilty. We're all guilty. We're all guilty about doing that. We all would have done that in the past. I'm thinking everybody would have had a friend that they shared something about their significant other with, that they did not tell that person up front.
That's true. That
Maybe,
part is true.
yeah, maybe because they wanted like a second opinion. Maybe they want some validation. Maybe they need that person advice. But we all would have done it. We all would have jumped on the phone,
ah,
friend, and say, hey, this woman, I like this woman, or I like this man, but that, and that is the issue,
I might
right?
have someone after it was over or supposed to been over, but during, how much of a friend are you if you're going back blindsiding me and them?
Well, I think she just felt like he wasn't going to do it, and she was angry because she felt like probably her friend's feelings were hurt. But I just want to mention this quote, this comment here, which is so true. Thank you, F. Will. And it says, "A passive man will be quiet and cheating." Do you know how many men I know
That's true.
that are with women that are angry and aggressive, and the man takes it, but he is, trust me, he is doing his own thing.
That
I
is true.
remember talking with this woman that's on television, and I met her husband, and she had such a nasty attitude, and I was like, he is definitely cheating on her. And it came out later. So a lot of times and he was just a quiet, passive, take it all, take it all, take it all. Those people, that is not a positive way to communicate, because you're not taking up for yourself. But trust me, if you think that you can talk to a man any old kind of way, you may get away with it, but you're not, there'll be consequences and repercussions around the bend that you're going to have
Great,
to deal with. So
great,
really, we should just all be speaking to each other with respect. You should
great.
not be trying to say something to somebody. You see how Ashley responded when he said DMX. She didn't like that. She got butt hurt. But and I think she also would have got angry if he told her he didn't like the way she dressed. When somebody said they didn't like her nails, she got furious. So it just, we have to be respectful and realize that everybody deserves the same level of respect. Zalika, who are you looking forward to hearing from the most? I know you want to hear from all the guys you said, but who are you looking forward to hearing from the most on next Friday, and why?
I think I want to hear from Donald. I want to hear from Kirsten, but we saw that Kirsten didn't really had much to say. I don't know if he's going to say anything at all, but I want to hear from Donald, and I would definitely want to hear from Tabari, because I want to hear about this communication saga. I want to know if he just wasn't communicating, or if he just was not communicating enough, because
Mm-hmm.
communication goes both ways,
Mm-hmm.
and I just want to know what brother was on that show. And I was looking back at that show, and I saw Sharice's behavior, and I saw Ashley's behavior, and I saw, you know, um, maybe Vernicia's dress code right throughout. I might have probably have to check my family member and say, "Are you sure that this is what you want?"
Mm-hmm.
Because you know, are you sure?
Yeah.
So I wish them well. I hope they find a man. If they don't find one there, they can come to the Caribbean and see what they can do.
You know what? That is a good point, Zalika. I think Will Packer should bring, instead of keep going around the states, go to the
Uh-huh.
Caribbean. Because now, last question before we let you go. LJ is from the Caribbean. What do you
Mm.
think about LJ and Sharice's interaction and the kiss on the lips, knowing what you know about your fellow Caribbean men?
Yeah. Do they do?
I think, listen, sometimes it happens. Sometimes you go in to kiss somebody, and I gotta know the context. Like if they went in to kiss and they just happened to kiss on the mouth, or whatever. But Caribbean men are they're special men. They're giving men, they're loving men, and they're men who just like women, a lot of women.
They do.
And yeah, Caribbean women like Caribbean men because they're the type of men that if they have 100 women and they're working for $10, everybody gets a piece of that money.
Uh,
What
my
the?
They take care of their women. And that's it. Caribbean people, we're hospitable. We like to party. We like to cook. The women cook. They clean. They're all about family. They dress. They do it all. And Caribbean men, they're hardworking,
yeah.
very hardworking, family oriented. But they will cheat. But they will make sure that their homes have everything that it needs.
Sound
Okay. That's and I can vouch for that. All my friends that are Caribbean
Uh huh.
feel like are the same, are exactly what you just said. They
Hmm.
take care of home. They are very charismatic and passionate people. They do enjoy the company of a lot of women from time to
Yeah.
time, but they
Hmm.
also have a lot of respect for family. So I'm not going to leave my wife,
Hmm.
not never, but I will enjoy the company of other women, and they're very clear about that. You know, so it's kind of a dichotomy to us, Tara's world. I get it because I'm always like, well, how is that family oriented? But it's a different culture.
It is.
Um, yeah,
It is. Mo, so, you need to come to the Caribbean. Let us give you some curry chicken or some chicken curry. Because it seems like you're looking for a girl up there and it's not working for you.
yeah. Some, somebody just didn't somebody leave something like that in the comments, Crystal?
somebody said they
I
were
think
going
it
to
was me, right?
I,
yeah,
I, I
I
might be,
think it was me, right?
huh?
Yes.
it was her.
Oh, was you?
Yes. Yes. You need to come
Oh,
to the Caribbean.
okay, okay,
You
okay.
need to come to the Caribbean.
I
Yeah.
I do. Okay,
Yes.
okay.
Eat some Caribbean food. Drink
Oh,
some beer. Enjoy the bacchanal.
oh,
I love it. I
Yes.
love it. So we will come. We will come. I'll bring my honey bunny, and we'll bring Mo, and you can fix curry chicken, and we'll come. That'll be fun. That'll be great. This is this.
Yes.
All right, Mo.
how was your oxtails?
Oh, that's a Jamaican thing. I'm Guyanese.
Oh,
So
Guyanese. Okay,
with curry chicken.
okay. No,
Jamaican
it,
oxtail.
it is right. That is right.
Yes, yes. Jamaicans is oxtail. But we rapping for Jamaica too. I've been there.
We have a good friend that's Guyanese.
Yeah, yeah. A few of them actually here.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh,
We do. We have good, and she's a good, just a wonderful woman.
She is.
Wonderful, one of our good friends. Well, thank you so much, Lika. First of all, thank you for jumping on
Yeah.
tonight when everybody else was hesitant, and
mhm.
especially jumping in all the way from Guyana. You have a beautiful accent,
You do.
and thank you so much for supporting the channel and giving us your thoughts for tonight.
Okay, thank you guys. All right,
Right.
Okay,
bye bye.
Yeah.
talk to
Bye.
you again soon. All right. Well, thank you guys for hanging out with us tonight. Has been fun. Tonight has been fun, right?
Yeah, I like. Be
Yeah,
good.
and I did see her comment. That's she did tell you that she
I
was.
didn't know that was her though. I
Yeah,
remember.
she said she would cook you some curry chicken.
Okay, okay.
Not the mischievous laugh. Uh-oh. Gail so blessed said, I'll make the oxtail for you, Mo. I'm Jamaican. Okay.
Okay,
Okay.
that's my favorite now. Woof.
Favorite. All right, y'all. That's most favorite is the oxtail.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we will be back. We'll be back to Friday next time. Next week we'll be back on Friday. I think while we do the second part of the reunion, we should allow viewers to come on again. So we'll do this again. We won't do pajamas, but we'll just do a regular night.
There you
But
go.
after we talk about the reunion, I think it'd be good to bring on some
And don't
people.
cry, y'all. Get on here.
Yeah, come on, y'all. At least we had. Thank you to Conjunction and Malika, Kalika and Robin. Thank you guys for jumping on. This was fun. We love being able to interact with you and see you and hear where you're from and hear your context. We'll be back on Friday. Actually, we'll be back on Wednesday. We're back on Wednesday, and then again on Friday. But tomorrow is New Year's Eve, so we want to wish you guys a
Definitely.
very safe, blessed, beautiful New Year's Eve We're going to actually be at an event tomorrow night together. So we'll send you guys, I'll post some
I'm
pictures.
thinking about it. I don't know yet.
You know what? Make sure you guys are subscribed. Make sure you like this and subscribe and share this because we had a good conversation. We'll be back to talk on Wednesday. And then remember that we have this, we're getting ready to move on to Ready to Love, Fort Worth, isn't it? Which is weird. It just feels weird.
It
But
does.
yeah, we're gonna do a recap of all the new singles, and we're gonna get into a regular season of Ready to Love. So I think that's gonna be good. But we'll see you guys back here next week. Again, have a beautiful New Year's Eve and New Year's Day. Happy New Year. We love you guys. And like I said, we got a big announcement coming next week for 2024. So make sure that you stay tuned in, and we will see you then. Well, you got any last minute words to say?
Just if you guys be out tomorrow night, then just be safe, bringing the new year around love and positivity. That's it.
That's what's up. All right. Happy New Year. We love you guys. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye.